Welcome back, everyone. Well, he's an author, an NFL veteran, and a college football Hall of Famer.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And he's also an activist who's been recognized for his anti-violence work. And joining us now is Don McPherson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks,
so first, let's talk about your new book. It's called You Throw Like a Girl, The Blindspot of Masculinity. Why don't you tell us what it's all about and why you decided to write it?
I retired from football in 1994, and I went to Northeastern University, and I thought I was going to be doing work around racism in sport and other social issues. And then I learned about the issue of men's violence against women. And I had to do a self-examination of how I learned what it meant to be a man and when I learned it. So I traced it all the way back to when I was a little boy. And the language on the ball field, the language I call those sports. And you throw like a girl was always the big challenge. And that says, one, that men need to man up, suck it up, and tough it up. But the other thing it says that women and girls are less than. And that's what leads to our collective silence about violence against women.
Now, you were at St. Norbert College yesterday. You'll be there again today. What message are you bringing them?
The message really is about how do we engage men in a sustainable conversation about what I refer to as aspirational masculinity. Far too often we hear that we have to address masculinity with regards to violence against women, but we're always saying that men are bad and we need to get rid of what some people refer to as toxic masculinity. This is a conversation about how do we engage men in a positive conversation about what it looks like moving forward.
Now, you said, obviously, you're an NFL veteran, played for the Eagles. You also played for Syracuse. So you have the experience being on the gridiron. Why is this issue important to you based on your experiences?
You know, it's a really good question because far too often when we talk about this issue of masculinity, we're talking about the impact on women. And what we don't talk about is what are the long-term implications of men. I've got so many players that I played football with, and I hate to say the number, but those 32 who are dead. And 6 of those are suicides. And what we're not looking at is the mental health aspect of men not talking about their feelings and their emotions and being able to say, I'm struggling, I need help. That's a part of this conversation around aspirational masculinity. It's helping a lot of guys. And I was with some guys last weekend in Atlantic City, and we always check in on how you're doing. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you healthy? Are you communicating? Are you getting in therapy if you need therapy? Are you doing those things to take care of yourself? And that's part of this conversation. Wow.
What do you hope the students come away with when they leave after this?
That there's a conversation that we're not having as a society. I think we're in this post-Me Too era, or during the Me Too era, where we're trying to take people down and take people out, this cancel culture, that there really needs to be a sustainable conversation that we have with one another. That's positive, that's proactive, that's really helping to, as I always say, love each other differently. That needs to be part of the narrative. It's not just a matter of saying what we get rid of, but what do we aspire to be.
All right, and talk about the event today, Don, when you're speaking and all that good stuff.
9 o'clock at the Fort Howard Theater on campus at St. Norbert's, 9 o'clock, and again at 3:30. Both of those, 9 o'clock is more for coaches and people in the high schools. The 3:30 event is wide open to anyone who wants to come. Yeah. And tomorrow, Humana is one of our sponsors, so tomorrow we'll be at Humana, but today, St. Norbert College.
All right, Don McPherson, everybody. He has a book out right now, You Throw Like a Girl, and you can also check him out today at 3:30 at St. Norbert for that free lecture. Great what you're doing and bringing about an important issue, so thank you very much.
And where can people get your book?
You can get the book on Amazon. Just go for my name, Don McPherson. The book is You Throw Like a Girl, The Blindspot of Masculinity. Pretty easy to find, I hope.
All right, yeah. And we'll have a link to our website, wearegreenbay.com, for that book. Don, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
We'll get checking your forecast coming up. Stay with us.